So there was a recent Balance of Power video, and in that Balance of Power video, they talked about how they are about to nerf the heavy equip load in New World. So the way they're going to do that is they're going to increase the amount of stamina it takes to dodge whenever you are in a heavy load. And in this video, we're not going to go over the complete Balance of Power episode. I'll make sure to link that down in the description below if you're interested in watching that. But I really wanted to bring this particular change to your attention in case you weren't aware, because this is going to be a pretty big change to the game and a pretty big change to the heavy equip load. So if you're currently putting together a set or you have one, you may want to consider changing or maybe not. So let's go over the changes that are coming to the game, and then I'll give you my thoughts on those changes. So if you have not heard yet, they're increasing the amount of stamina it's going to take whenever you dodge while in a heavy equip load. Instead of it taking 50 stamina as it does now, it is going to take 55 stamina. So what this means is that even whenever you have on a hardy ring, you're only going to be able to dodge 2 times before you are fully exhausted. Right now, whenever you're in a light, medium, or heavy equip load, it takes 50 stamina. Well, those are not changing, but the heavy equip load is moving up to 55. So you'll still be able to dodge 3 times in light and medium, but you will not be able to do that whenever you are in heavy armor. So they're making this change because a lot of people are utilizing heavy armor at the moment. It is very, very strong, and it is most definitely meta. So I think they're trying to balance that out so that more people move back into the medium equip load, so all of these equip loads are getting utilized in the game. They did acknowledge that the medium equip load is in a very weird spot, and it most definitely is, because whenever they nerfed the medium equip dodge, just like they're doing to heavy armor, it really put medium in a weird spot. No one wanted to use medium anymore because everyone used medium pretty much for the extra dodge that you received. Well, once they took that away, everyone just switched to heavy, because why wouldn't you? You don't lose out on that much more damage. You gain a ton of mitigation, and you still deal a lot of damage whenever you are in the heavy load. So the question is, ultimately, what is this going to do to the heavy equip load in New World? Well, I don't think anyone fully knows what's going to happen just yet. I do think, however, you will see a lot of people shift back into medium for that extra dodge, because dodging in New World, whether you're in light, medium, or heavy, is very, very powerful because of the iframes that you get in the game. But in my opinion, the more appropriate approach, and some of you guys might not agree with this, if you don't, that's fine. You can let me know in the comments below if you don't and why you agree with their change or disagree with it. But what I think they should have done really is reduce the amount of damage you deal whenever you're in heavy armor. Because to me, the problem right now is not the mobility you have when you're in heavy armor. It more lies with the amount of damage you deal and the amount of damage you can take. Why would you go any other equip load when you can still pump out a ton of damage and mitigate a whole lot of damage as well? It's just a no-brainer right now to go into heavy armor, especially with the changes to the medium dodge. So in my opinion, I think they should have nerfed the amount of damage you deal in heavy armor. Yes, I know you get a damage boost when you're in light and a small damage boost in medium, but there is no damage penalty or anything whenever you're in heavy, and I think that really is where the problem lies. I think if they reduced the amount of damage you deal in heavy and made that more of a tanking role instead of a damage dealing plus tanking role, because that's kind of what you can do right now, at least in PvP anyway. In PvE, that's a whole other situation and scenario, but in PvP, it is incredibly strong at the moment. So I feel like they should have just reduced the amount of damage, not by a lot. You don't want to nerf it into the ground, but maybe 5-10%. And I feel like that would have been a better approach than nerfing the dodge. I'm not real sure why they went this route, but it's a very interesting route to go. We'll see how this plays out in the long run. I don't, however, think heavy armor is completely dead, but I do think this is going to take a hit to a lot of heavy armor players. So if you are a person that utilizes heavy armor and you like to dodge while in heavy armor versus being just a full-on tank with a big tower shield and blocking all the time, then you may want to consider bumping your build back over to medium. And if you are putting together a build right now in heavy, you may want to rethink that with these changes coming in and potentially put together a medium build instead of that heavy equip load build that you were thinking about putting together. So I still do think we'll see quite a lot of heavy users in the game, because you still deal a lot of damage with almost the same amount of mitigation. Obviously now you lose out on 1 extra dodge, but you will just have to manage your stamina a little bit better if you are in heavy armor. This is going to take a hit, and yes, I fully expect heavy armor to not get utilized quite as much, but I still think it's going to be very strong if you are a heavy melee enjoyer at the moment. You're going to lose out on some mobility and an iframe, which in essence is some mitigation. However, I think with proper stamina management, you can still fully use heavy armor, and I think it will be okay, but this is a fairly large nerf coming into heavy armor nonetheless. So I just wanted to make sure I let you guys know that this was something that's coming into New World. I would love to hear you guys' thoughts about this in the comments below, because this is a pretty big change coming into heavy armor. If you are a heavy armor enjoyer, are you still going to be using heavy armor, or are you going to switch to medium? Do you think their approach that they took is correct or right with nerfing the dodge, or do you think they should have went the damage approach like I think? You guys might completely disagree with me, and that's completely fine. We can have the conversation down in the comments below. I'd love to talk to you about it. But that's going to do it for this one, boys and girls. Thank you guys so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. I just wanted to make sure I brought you guys this information, because this is a pretty big change coming into the game. And again, I'll make sure to link that Balance of Power episode down in the description below in case you want to watch the entire episode for yourself. There were some other changes coming into the game that are fairly interesting as well, but this was by far the most interesting and probably the biggest meta shifting change that was in that Balance of Power episode. If you enjoy New World content, please make sure to like and subscribe. I greatly appreciate that. I have a lot of videos coming up. We have some expedition guides coming up, some build guides, some other things relating to season 4 and beyond. So please make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on those. And that'll do it for this one. Oh, and we also stream over on twitch.tv/BDLG every Monday, every Friday, 8 o'clock a.m. CST, as well as right here on YouTube. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. We'll see you in the next one.